Hello, everybody. It is well, it's not really a pop-up since I kind of announced it this morning, but it is kind of a last-minute video going onto YouTube as a live haul video because I've been slacking somewhat by choice, because of the holidays. A lot of the videos I do are really prepping and dealing with the shipments from the live sales. And because Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve were both the nights of my regular sale, I didn't really do sales those 2 weeks. And that should have meant I had plenty of time to do other things. And well, that didn't happen. So I was kind of trying to figure things out. And I'm sure she's not going to be here or not here yet. Because she's working a 12-hour shift. But Kat from the Nurse Flipper was chatting with me yesterday, and we're touching base on a couple different things. And she just said, well, what's my goal? I should say I have a schedule. What's my goal? And admittedly, I didn't really know if I had one. Then that's bad. So, so she and I chatted. She does 3 videos a week. She does a live chat with some resellers, and I think that counts as one of her 3 videos, but it may not. She may do 3 in addition to that. So she and I were talking, and she's like, do you think it's realistic to do your live sale once a week and then have at least one other video per week? And once upon a time, that had been my goal, and I was trying to do that. I did the deep dives, and I will still be doing deep dives. Trying to do additional content because I don't want my YouTube channel to just be about sales. Sales are great. Live sales are great. I feel horrible that I'm interfering with Thrift U's live sale. I thought theirs was earlier, which is why I pushed mine to 9 p.m. Eastern. So that's totally my fault. But I'm not a sale. So if you're looking to buy anything, this is not a sale. Now I will say, as you see some of these items, I don't know what I'm going to do with them. I may put them up on my eBay store because I don't really have a lot on my eBay store. So I might put them up there. I don't think they necessarily belong on my Etsy store. So I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with them. I will not be putting them in my booth, though. I've had a couple of experiences with some games in the booth, including a set of vintage playing cards, and the jokers were stolen out of my playing cards. So it happens. Not much you can do, but it's one of those cases that with all of the games I'm going to show you, they just have pieces that are just going to be, I am really worried that they are going to be all over the table before the end of the night. So we'll see. I did not give myself enough space to justify how big some of these boxes are. So it should be entertaining. But we're just going to have fun. So if you do see anything, like you're more than welcome to send me an email, say you'd be interested in something. I haven't researched any of these. Literally, there are games that I picked up because I had the opportunity of just basically picking up all of the games. There's games here I've never heard of, and they're my era. Some are older than me, but they're the games that you'd think I'd know. Not so much. So let's see who we got. So we got Ferns Fines. Thanks for joining us. Linda is here. She was suggesting I create a gaming castle, which may exactly be what happens as I try and move some of these boxes around. Poodle's here from California, so she's representing the West Coast. Mid-Century Wasted, also holding up the West Coast. Hey, Jamie, thanks for joining us. Beth from Carolina Princess Sweet Treats and Pretties. She is also motivated to do more content, do more with Instagram, more with YouTube. It's one of those, people set up New Year's resolutions. I probably should put more healthy and working out resolutions. I didn't do that. But some of the things I'm doing is I am trying to list at least 2 items per day onto my Etsy store. So far, day 3, yay, I've succeeded. And then now with Kat from the Nurse Flipper setting up this, kind of unofficial challenge for me, I'm now going to try and do 2 videos a week, one being my live sale and then one being something else. But because she issued the challenge last night, I didn't have a chance to film anything to edit, to put up for today. And the week is kind of difficult for me because you probably know I have a day job. So I think Beth has also said she's trying to get more motivated and being more regularly posting on her social media. Katie, who is an absolute dynamo, she posts everywhere. She does content all the time. She did an entire week of content last week leading up to the new year. We all need to be like Katie. I have failed, but welcome, Katie. Thanks so much for being here. Diana from Little Vintage Me has joined us. Thank you so much for being here. Harry's here. So, all right, you might be the one that explains some things to me, Harry, because there definitely are some games that are older. Some that I know, but some I have a feeling the reason I don't know them is because they predate the 70s, which is when I would have played the games. And so some of them may just have not been popular long enough. So there might be a couple you'll know, Harry. So I'll definitely be interested to see what you think and what you find. Chicago Lady's here. So Melody is here. She's got a gaming collection, a vintage board game collection. So we may be putting her to the test as well. Maybe she owns some of these. Now the question, Melody, is do you play the board games that you collect? Or do you collect them, which is completely acceptable? Do you collect them for the graphics, for the pieces, for, whatever? Because that's a total valid thing. And actually, the very first item I'm going to show is something that we all probably know, I would assume. And it falls into that category. Do you collect it for the game or do you collect it for the graphics? Clue. Now, first of all, I don't remember the board game being this freaking big. So we have a very large edition of Clue. It is copyrighted from the cover. It is copyrighted in 1956. So Jamie's saying that she plays the ones you collect. So that's great. I mean, I think that's fun. I mean, I can't imagine any of these are going to have particular value. Like I said, though, I do want to research some of them, but it's really, it's for fun. And so you have fun playing them. Now, I will say for Clue, before I was divorced, I did have a man cave in my old house. And that was before I was into vintage reselling. But I always liked vintage. I always liked antiques. And so one of the things that I did with Clue was I collected all of the the actual game boards and the different decks of cards. And I actually framed the decks of cards. I had all of the suspects, out. I had I put up, I think, 4 or 6 of the game boards. I mounted them on the wall. Unfortunately, when I moved to this place, that some of them survived. Not all of them got rehung. But this is not one that I had. So this is the 1956 box. But I found it interesting. I had pre-looked at this one because the board game, I saw it and I can't remember. Oh, the board game, the game board, put it that way, is actually copyrighted 1960. So what I don't know is, did the box not get changed for longer than the board? Because the box was copyrighted in 1956, which may be when the game was copyrighted, but you'd think that if they updated the box, that copyright date would have been changed. So I'm not sure, how that aspect of that works. So this is the 56 edition, and then the 1960 copyright of the board game. So you've got the dining room. They're almost all the same types of game boards. Ballroom, conservatory, billiard room. Now I did have what did I have? I had a Scooby-Doo version of it. That is actually still upstairs in my office. I think they changed the rooms, so that one made it a little bit different. So that was the game board. But what I also had was this style of cards. So what was interesting is when I was doing the card games, I was collecting them for the backs and then the images on the front, but the cards themselves do not have copyrights on them. So this is one of those cases where I had these cards. This is probably in a deck. I think I can't find the decks. I have the ones that were framed. So I don't know if I got rid of the rest, which just shoot me now if I did that. But I basically went around and I tried to find as many different versions of the decks that I could, but I never knew what era. So I'm assuming this style goes with this set. There'd be no reason for it not to. So it's a 1960 game or board. There are the instructions. The instructions don't appear to have dates on them. It doesn't have a zip code, so it's pre-1963. And you could get additional notepads for 20 cents each. So the notepads actually are here. I mean, this is definitely a used set, but you've got the suspects, weapons, and rooms. and there's actually still some blanks. So they're still on there. So Harry's saying he played in the 70s. That would be when I played. Okay, so Katie's saying she has a 50s version that's different. Now, what I haven't done, like I said, I haven't researched all of these. I don't know when Clue was invented. I was thinking that 56 sounded about around the time, but maybe it's earlier than that. So maybe there were other editions, before that. This was a productive family. They actually Xeroxed pages so that in case they ever ran out. The box is still fairly set. Somebody chewed their pencils. So we've got a Goliath pressure-proofed American pencil, and they actually have color-coded. So I don't know if I can't imagine these came with, but maybe they did, because there's a yellow, there's a blue, there's a black. No, but I give this family credit, because then if there ever was a red and a green, they found a red and a green, just not in the same pencil. So it is the wooden markers, and then the metal pieces. So you've got the candlestick and the gun. So you can tell there's those two are metal. All right, see if you can all can remember the games or the weapons. So you've got, because I'm going to make sure they're all here. I think there's 6. So there's the gun, the candlestick, the dagger, the wrench. The rope appears to be plastic, so I don't know if that is part of this set, or if, I guess you wouldn't want to have rope made out of metal. So I don't know if this would have been part of the original set. It's got the plastic mold mark on there, so that was in here. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What am I missing? So I don't see it. So I'm digging through the stacks here. They made many, many, many copies of their sheets. Uh-oh, it looks like there might be missing a piece. Unless it's underneath the insert. Have we ever figured out what okay, so Jamie's saying that the rope was always plastic, and that actually makes sense. Oh, bummer. Okay, so what's missing? Now I legitimately need to know, because it's not in here. So I do not have a complete game set. Unless there were only 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, there had to be 6. Where was one of those sheets? Okay. Weapons. Knife. I've got. Candlestick I've got. Revolver I've got. Rope I've got. Oh, lead pipe. The lead pipe is missing. That that explains why there's a toothpick in the game. This must be their lead pipe. That is hilarious. All right, so this is probably going to be sold for parts, because there are the 6 colors of the game pieces, all in the wood. My daughter used to have, we always did themed birthday parties for her, and she had a Clue themed birthday party one year. And so all the there's actually, we all had t-shirts that said, it had these little meeples lined up, and it said the usual suspects. And so it had these different colors. So let's see, Colonel Mustard. The blue was Miss Peacock, Mrs. White. Oh, wait. Oh, so this is purple. So that's purple. So that's Professor Plum. The blue was Miss Scarlet. Then we got the green was Mr. Green. I should have known that one. And the red was, no, that was Miss Scarlet. Miss Scarlet, Miss Peacock. Mrs. Peacock. I love the movie version of it, the Tim Curry movie version. If you have not seen that, that is well worth your rental time. It's actually free on Amazon Prime right now. So if you have Amazon Prime, go check it out. If you haven't read it, or if you haven't seen it, it's absolutely hilarious. And there are so many one-liners in there that we used to spout those as our family all the time. You can't make an omelet without breaking eggs. Any cook will tell you that. But look what happened to the cook. So there's all kinds of good stuff in there. So the box is not the greatest condition. There's some tears. So we've got a missing piece. The board is actually in pretty good condition. So if somebody's interested in the board, I think the graphics on this is pretty cool. You know, so this would be a mid-century modern. Like what do they have here? Let's look at the mid-century modern kitchen. So, you know, we've got some laminate counters and some metal cabinets there. The green drapes in the library. So anyway, so we've got that. We've got 5 of the 6 pieces. And then I don't know if it's worth picking through all the cards, but I'm assuming it looks like this was played. So maybe all the card games are there. All right. So that was Clue. So that's one of the games. And I'm being 100% honest. That is one of the few games I actually know. The next one is this is one of the ones I do not know. This one is called Avanti. The box again is massive. You know, I guess when ranch homes had big closets for holding all of these games. Fines, FYANES, games of distinction for the entire family. Copyright 1967. So this is a late 60s going into the 70s game. The board is pretty cool. And it basically, I mean, it's kind of like a really fancy schmancy checkerboard. Well, wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. So it's like a checkerboard or a chessboard. So it kind of has the different marbles and stones. You know, it's obviously cardboard. But so you've got that. So you've got a pretty decent size. I think I have my tape measure here. So the board is, and that then means the box is 22 inches wide. So the box is like 23 inches wide. So we've got Avanti. Yes, Jamie, I bet it is in the Sears catalog. Well, no, your Sears catalog was earlier than this. So this is 67. So we've got, you will enjoy playing Avanti because it is a game won by using skill, intelligence, and knowledge, and it is fun for the entire family. So it's got what's really nice about this one is it has a listing of the game parts. It looks complete. Like, I'm not going to try and hold it up, but you can see the little inserts where all the cards, everything looks flush. So I think this is an actual complete game. But that's the hardest part. I've sold games before, and if you don't have a master list, you wouldn't know. Like, I don't want to sell something as a complete game and then find out it's missing something like the lead pipe. Not everyone will know to use the toothpick as the lead pipe. A reseller's board game would be extremely popular, Christy. There's a Broadway board game for Broadway theater. That's a lot. I've never actually played it, but I've seen how it's played, and that looks kind of fun. So I don't think anyone has actually seen this game. Harry's not seen it. Okay, so Melody looked it up. Because of post-war shortages, the game, okay, it's like a reading test. Because of post-war shortages, the game was not released until 1949. Oh, we must be talking about Clue. Okay, so Clue was actually released in 49. Oh, interesting. And it was released in 47. Now, I don't know if anyone said this. Does anyone know what it's called, what Clue is called in the UK? Because it's not called Clue, or it didn't used to be called Clue. So if you know what it's called in the UK. But I don't think anyone recognized or knew the knows Avanti. So it's what it has is it's got sets of what look like checkers, and they're 2 different colors. So I'm assuming it's a 2-person game, but it says it's fun for the whole family. So your cap. Okay, so it takes cards. Oh, there's a little tiny deck of cards. So I'm not sure what the decks are. Avanti. Okay, Melody to the rescue. Avanti is a combo of checkers and gin rummy. Oh, cool. Okay, so this tiny little box has a little slot in the big box, and it has. Okay, well, this one just has a red card with a white back. I don't know what that is. But check out these cards. That's so cool. So they have arrows on them. So 2 of spades, 10 of diamonds, 3 of clubs. So there's all 4 are reflected on there. Oh, no. Okay, now this is different. This one only has 3. No problem, Harry. This is just for fun. So some of them have 3, some of them have 4. Oh, and some of them have red backs and some of them have black backs. So there's something to do. So what Melody found is something about, and yes, thank you, Diana. It is called Cluedo. In the UK, Clue is called Cluedo. So Avante, there's a little E over the E, or a little accent over the E. So Avante, I guess. That is, says made in the USA. So this must be, I'm assuming this is an American game. But there's the cards, then there's these little, like, I don't know, they're counters? They're these little plastic, and there's 2 different colors. One's a little bit darker than the other. And so they kind of correspond to the light and the dark colors of the checker pieces. So no idea what this game is, but I will say it looks complete. So those cards are super cool. So you can do when and how to capture cards, how to show what cards have been captured, playing on your opponent's set or run. So that must be kind of like the gin rummy. Who wins? A key rule of Avante is that the game ends. Thank you. And therefore, the all-important scoring ends when either player is out of checkers, or when either player can in no way move his remaining blocked checker or checkers. Oh, so that must be what the little clear things is to block your path. So there's multiple jumps. So the instructions are fairly dense. So there's a lot to it. So this looks like it might be a complete game. This would definitely not be one. I'm not going to put this in the booth. Those pieces and those cards will disappear. I'm so upset that I had the 1940s Chem cards in the Bakelite box. That's the set that they stole the Jokers out of. So not going to be putting sets like little tiny pieces like that in my booth again. So that'll be available for sale, and it looks like it's a complete game. I'll check against the list, but it looks pretty good. It's actually in really good condition. The box looks like it had some water damage, but nothing inside. Okay. This one I want to say I kind of think I recognize, but I think more from like people talking about it. And I think people talking about it maybe like as an adult. I certainly did not play this game. I did not own this game. It's back in the days of completely gender bias where all girls love to play. There would be no boys playing this game. So it's the Miss Popularity game for the true American teen for 2 to 4 players, manufactured by Transagram Company, New York. 1961. Copyright 1961 by Marvin Glass. I'm assuming that's a name and not a glass company. I read Marvin Glass like it's Marvin Glass Company, like they make glass. I don't think there's any glass in here, but it has with the answer phone. So we've got the Miss Popularity game. Kind of cool. It says made in the USA, and then it's got the little Transagram logo up at the top. I'm not familiar with that, but it seems like it's important. So we've got the instructions, also copyrighted 1961, Marvin Glass. Miss Popularity game. Okay, another one that very thankfully includes the pieces of the game. So we've got the automatic answer phone, which is right here. Mine is not pink. Mine is blue. Okay, I would feel cheated because it says here that it's supposed to be pink. So unless pink has totally turned periwinkle, this is blue. So we've got the answer phone. You dial girls, boys, home, judges, and miscellaneous. So that's what you dial. And then they're supposed to get your answer on the top. And I'm sorry, I should not be laughing, but you'll know why in a second. No matter what I dial, it came up yes. So we're just going to say Miss Popularity is really popular because she always says yes. I'm sorry. Oh, sorry. All right. So I'm back. So we've got the answer phone. I literally don't even see the word no. There it is. Okay, so you can play this game however you want. So you've got the phone. 4 Miss Popularity bulletin boards with scoring sections. Oh, that's what this massive thing is. So there's 4 of these. So there's blue. Oh yeah, they're color coded. Okay, so there's blue with the yellow trophy, gold trophy, pink with a gold trophy, like a green, like a sagey green color, also with the trophy, and then a dark purple color. So there's 4 of these games, and there's these little holes down in the bottom for Miss Popularity scoreboard, and it looks like there's ways to like scoring into the hundreds, and then that must be. I don't know, can I do this without the entire box falling apart? So you've got this little thing lifts out. So you've got the trophy, and then these little clippy, like these are like pegs. So I think that's what goes into the boards. So you've got the little pegs for scoring your popularity points. It doesn't look like this was played, if at all, it wasn't played much, because like even the money, it's still rubber banded together, and it's like it's in pristine condition. It's not wrinkled. It's not. It's pretty good. I mean, I'm assuming at some point these were probably sealed, but they're all still rubber banded together, and the cards are in really good condition. So I'll have to go through the rest of the list. So there's bulletin boards, loving cup, sectional cards, and money tray. So that was what those were. 96 cards. So cool. It tells me how many cards there are, so I can count to make sure they're all there. Play money, and then the scoring indicators. There's 8 of them, and there are 8 of them. So this actually looks like it's going to be a complete game. I think the graphics of the cover are like a win right here, because I could just see that going up on a bookshelf. The graphics of the game, somewhat minimal. The cards are, so there's 2 sets of cards. 3 sets of cards. Okay, can't really figure that out. So like this one has the white background that says Miss Popularity. And so this one is something with 15 points, water skiing. A boyfriend who owns a speedboat invites you to go water skiing. You may go if you have a bathing suit. And of course you dialed the phone and it said yes, which means she probably would go even if she didn't have a bathing suit. That would be the Kardashian version of this game. So this one has like the red trophy and then the white background, but then this one, which this is rubber banded with it, so this one's like the blue trophy and then a pink background. So this one is, these must be the people, contest judge, Van Gogh artist. So if I have Van Gogh, he's Van Gogh. Aren't they clever? So there's another one with the red background. Yeah, so this is another person. So this is another contest judge, Sally Dahl, model school director. So there's those sets of that, but then there's another set of cards that have different backgrounds. So this one, so this was the red background was with the contest judges. This is the blue background. And this one is limited credit card, good for $45. So I guess maybe this is, are these all money? Yeah, so gold credit card, good for $75. So these must be for something else. And then like the white backgrounds, tickets to a hit play. You get 2 tickets to a hit play and can't go. Call a friend and offer to sell them for half price. If she says yes, collect $5. All right, what play are you going to? It costs $10. I guess that's a sign of the times. So, and it comes in a pretty cool, like little tray. So it's 3 types of money. And then like, it looks like, what did I just come up with? 3 or 4 different types of cards, but there's only 2 slots for the cards. So that you must do something different with the cards. I'll figure that out. But it says there's a total of 96. So as long as there's 96, this game looks complete and in pretty good condition. So I'm pretty happy with that one. It's big. Again, the box is massive. So the box is 19.5 inches wide. There is such a thing. I have some. There is such a thing from the U.S. Postal Service, a flat rate a board game box. It's very long, so all these would fit into it. I don't know if it's that thick because this is pretty thick. But I could probably, it could probably ship in a regular box too. Oh, it was sold Hobby Models. Must have been the company. Hobby Models price. Retail $5.98, Hobby Models price $4.99. So, like I said, so this is copyrighted 1961. So $5 in 1960s. Okay, this one I did not know, but I knew the concept of it. Tippet, the wackiest balancing game ever. So this is by Ideal, 1965. It's like this is all from an estate sale, so it's like you can almost kind of figure out the poor age of these kids and the family. So you've got a pretty big box with the instructions on how the Tippet machine goes together, if you can't figure it out from the graphic on the front. This, I'm questioning whether it was ever played because it is in pristine condition. So, okay, I joked about if paying attention. So this on the cover is blue, but on this one it's red. So that goes down first. Then there is a blue stick that goes up into it. The yellow piece, which on the picture is red, the yellow piece there, I don't even really see it. You can see like in the middle there's like a little point, and that is what sits in the little cup there. So you've got a balancing circus toy, and then you've got, wait a minute. Uh-oh. Is there a piece missing? Oh, no, there it is. You then have this big piece, which goes in the top. Okay, there's no way I'm going to be able to do this on the screen. So let's see what I can do here. All right, so we're just going to make this even more complicated because I'm going to hold it. So you hold it. So you've got this balancing thing on the top, and then you balance. I'm balancing my games. You balance. Did you have this, Laura or Mary Beth? I missed who's actually on. Okay, and so then, yeah, if it's Laura, I get back because this is a circus game, and Laura loves her circus games. All right, I am not coordinated enough to do this. All right, no, wait, come back. We can. Oh, damn it. Oop. Okay, forget you. I'm cheating. Okay. Oh. All right, maybe if I wasn't holding him. So we're gonna let it sit on the table. I'm gonna totally claim it was not my fault. It was the table. It was because I was holding it, and I'm not level. All right, so this is supposed to sit there. Okay, and I think my townhouse is sinking because this totally is not level. But okay, we're gonna see what happens. Okay, yeah, I suck at this game. Okay, I can't even get this stupid little man to balance. How am I supposed to balance everything else on him? Okay, well, this game is pissing me off. So I'll probably like sell it for free. You just pay the freight because I don't want it in my house. I literally do not understand how I don't know if I don't have them sitting in there right. Because you're then supposed to hang things off of it, I guess. I actually don't know what these are for. Oh, okay. So then these you're supposed to put on here to counterbalance him. So maybe I'm not supposed to put him on yet. Well, the damn thing was barely balancing without anything on there. So, okay. So if he's completely empty, I then put one of the weights on. He's going to completely tip over. Okay, but he did not fall off yet. So now do I put him on here and then try and does that balance him? Okay, there's no freaking way. He doesn't weigh nearly enough to counterbalance that thing. Oh, and then there's the card. I guess you're supposed to spin do these weigh different amounts? You can't tell. They kind of seem the same. Oh, this one looks a little bit thicker. So maybe with the different weights. All right, so you're just supposed to be able to balance the dude on the top and not rip your hair out while you're doing it. So anyway, and if so if anyone wants to buy it, you can ask Laura how it's played and how to if she ever mastered it. So there's a couple of big pieces in here, obviously. So the box is pretty big. So this one actually has to sit underneath everything else because it goes diagonal across the entire box. And then this piece came apart pretty easily. Famous last words. There we go. So I have a feeling they probably did what I did. They probably tried it once or twice and said, screw this. And then put it away. So it's really hard. You have to have plenty of room and you have to practice. Yeah, I do not have any room. I mean, this thing is about to poke my eye out. So it's like Jenga in reverse. That's brilliant. It looked like a lot of fun, and it's in really good condition, I will say. You can see, and this is, I guess this is part of the game. There, I don't think I pulled it out. There's like the little spatula thing that is how you're supposed to load it on. So like just using your hands would be, I guess, far too simple because, you know, I mastered the game. So you've got the little spatula thing. But the box is in pretty good condition. Again, fairly large, fairly thick. So this would definitely not fit into the game board box, but there'd be plenty of other boxes. So this is 15.5 by 11, but it's 4 inches tall. So it's a fairly tall box. I don't recognize, it must have been given as a gift because they crossed it out. I don't recognize whose label that was. It looks like somewhere along the line it might have cost $6.77. Not sure, because that's not what they crossed out, so that seemed very bad, unless that was the date. Maybe it was 1977. I don't know. But it looks like they crossed out the date. So anyway, I don't recognize who that label was. But so that was Tippet. So I will have to look. I didn't even look at the directions, obviously, to know. I think everything was there. So I do think that this is complete. And yeah, so that was copyrighted in 1965. All right, the next one I got, this is actually technically not technically, it's not a game, or it's not a board game. Let's put it that way. It's very heavy. It is, and I just thought this was super cool. It is Craftmaster Mosette. You've all seen those mid-century modern. Jamie's drooling right now. You've seen the mid-century modern. Hey, the clowns are coming to get you, Misty. You've got this art set to make those pebble art pieces. So you've got, it's like not paint by numbers, but you've got all these different designs. And I did not do this on purpose, but I don't think Misty's on here. I have the clown. So once upon a time, this had Elmer's glue in it. So it was this entire set. And it looks like the owner did most of it, but never finished the background. So what I have is the Mosette Craft stock number 9-5 Happy Clown. Yeah. There's loose rocks, and they're all headed to my dining room table. There you go. So the clown, Jamie, the clown itself appears to be finished. You know, I really don't want to tilt it too much because you can probably hear there are rocks sliding around it. So like all those yellow rocks are the loose ones. One of the bags ruptured open. So there were yellow rocks put into the collar. The clown itself appears to be done. The face is totally filled in. It looks like maybe they didn't do in the eye. The one eye is like blank. Damn it. That went into my keyboard. So we're not tilting it anymore. So I think that was probably, they honestly missed it. But what they did not do was the background. So you can see this is the bare wood. It looks like this was supposed to be the color of the background. This one is still sealed. So I'm assuming this is enough to do the background of Oh, and it even says, I didn't even see this. Yeah, I'm going to tilt it again. But I'm going to tilt it very shallowly. You probably can't read it, I'm sure, but you can probably see there's like a dark spot up here. That's actually text. So it says gray background, and then it says something underneath it. Toledo, Ohio, Palmer Pen Corporation. And there's something else that might be the copyright date. It looks like a circle, but it's I can't read it. It's like on the particle board, so it's not even. So it still had all the pieces. So it's got the gray. The glue is pretty much useless. Look, more lead pipes. You had the leftover aqua, which was the part of the collar. Leftover white, which I think that's probably what should be going into that one spot by the eye. I think they forgot it. A little bit of black, and then here's the culprit. Here's the yellow that was ruptured open. The others were wrapped up, but this one was not. So that's what's running loose throughout this, is all the yellow. The cover, let's see if it actually lists a date. I mean, this has to be the 50s, I would assume, or maybe the 60s. What would these be, Jamie? Palmer Pan. Okay, Pan Corporation, not Pen. Palmer Pan Corporation. Toledo, Ohio, Windsor, Ontario. Craftmaster Mosette. Unfortunately, the box does not appear to have a date. And from what I can tell, unless it's all the way in the bottom. Oh, there's stuff down here. Okay, so it also, you can see it's like a tray. I'm like, we're really not tipping it now because I put all the stuff back in. So you can see it's like in its own frame. So once you finish it, and like all the yellow that's just rolling around, I mean, I can dump them out. I just don't have a place to dump them out right now other than my computer keyboard, which is probably where a couple of them ended up. And then there's just the box, which also has some other colors in there, but it also has pictures. Wonders of the Animal Kingdom. These seem to have nothing to do with the game. They just happen to be sitting at the very bottom of the box. But the bottom of the box does not have any date either. So I'm not sure if Jamie, or anybody, when these kind of were popular. But yes, if you want the Happy Clown, this will be available. I will say, kind of heavy. It's probably... Well, okay, it's kind of heavy. It's probably 2 to 3 pounds, but the bulk of it is the weight of the piece. So really the box, other than the empty glue containers and a couple of the extra rocks, the weight is the framed piece. So this will be sold as is, definitely not going into my booth because God knows where all those rocks would end up. It is 8 by 24 in a handsome wood frame. So I think that's pretty cool. I knew it wasn't a game when I picked it up, but I'm like, that's just too cool. And I actually had a dachshund one that I sold to Dawn from the Just One More Dachshund Rescue. So yeah, they are kind of cool, very much of their era. All right, the next one, the Frosty Freeze Ice Creamer. You make it yourself in seconds. So this is have fun making delicious ice creams, ices, sherbets, and custards. Kill your friends. No, it doesn't say that. So this is from Hasbro. Hassenfield Brothers, Central Falls, Rhode Island. There's no zip code, so I'm going to assume this is before 1963. Okay, there's all kinds of weird stuff in here. All right, so we've got cupcake holders. Yes. I'm sorry if you asked that question, Jamie. That box had the 6 different images on it, but there's only one in there, and the board actually had it printed on there, so it's kind of like a paint by numbers. It said the gray rocks go here, the white rocks go there. So you only got the one, and it said that on the end. So when you bought it, this was how it was stocked. There are the rocks. This is how it was stocked with all 6 images, but you knew what you were buying because there's the happy clown and then there's also the sad clown. And this was the happy clown. So yeah, so there's only one in the box and enough based on the rocks that are left over, really only enough rocks to do the one. The only rocks that they had, the kitty litter that's left over, as Melody pointed out, that was a sealed bag. I'm sure it's from the original. That's the gray. And so that would be the background. Okay, so we had the cupcake holders. I usually say sherbet, but I know it's sherbet. So I try and correct myself all the time, but I grew up saying sherbet. I don't know if it really matters. Okay, so here's the fun item that's in this. This appears to be food. Junket, rennet, dessert. First of all, who wants food named junket? Like, I don't know what that's all about. But it's the junket rennet dessert mix. There is raspberry flavor. There's banana. And there's orange. I have no idea how old these packages are. Once again, the addresses on these do not have zip codes. So that predates these before 1963. They were sold for 2 for 27 cents. So also thinking 1960s. So, you know, if you want to kill someone, Jessica Fletcher has an episode waiting for you where you use this to make food. It has a cool, the little ice cream scoop things kind of in a chain. So you got two sets of those are included. And then the actual maker. So you've got this little machine with this piece, which I truly do not know where this goes. I don't see any. Oh, wait, does it go in here? No, I don't think it does. Maybe it goes over here. Maybe. Anyway, but you've got little plastic cups. So I guess you put it in there, and then it churns out here. Okay, I don't even want to know what toxic mold is growing in that top. So we're just going to say that this is for aesthetic purposes. Like this is just screaming to be part of a vignette. Or like I said, Jessica Fletcher, you know, never too early for Murder, She Wrote to come back, because this would definitely kill somebody. It's kind of cool though, the way they did the box. They actually made like a little ice cream parlor thing. Like this would look awesome in Jeffrey's basement. I don't know if he still has the diner and all the different ice cream sundae stuff. But it kind of sits in there. It's got like a little fake tile floor. And oh wait, it's got the instructions. So maybe the instructions give a date. Center Falls, Rhode Island, still no zip code. No, nothing. Now it does say frozen puddings. Okay. Why did Mighty Fine Pudding go out of business? That's got to be the best company name ever. Mighty Fine, Royal, and Jello, and Junket. So these are the Junkets. Also, well, this I know why it's no longer in business, because that's the dumbest name ever. It's a tasty milk drink. Stir 1 tablespoon into a glass of cold milk. And you can hear it's powdery. So anyway, this I just thought was super cool. I actually don't know. I guess this is to hold the ice cream. I don't really know. I'm assuming because they had those little holders there, it doesn't look like these came with it. These look like they came out of a house. I would assume that this probably got used. So maybe the family did actually use all of this. Maybe that's what killed them. Who knows? I do not think I'm putting this back on right. Oh, forgot the little spoony things. These are actually pretty cool. Kind of gross if you look at them too closely because they've been stained. So they're a little disturbing, but the concept is very cool. They have this string of them all still sealed together like a stack of condoms. I'm sorry, was that out loud? All right, the next item ended up, again, I knew that this is not what it claimed to be. initially moved to it because we do support things for the dog rescue, for the dachshund rescue. It's another hound. Like, oh, it must be a model or something. Like, oh, okay, it's got the old palette. Not a model. It is chock full of just play food. So you've got My Merry Hair Curlers. You have a Trust turkey. Cut Right wax paper. A tiny little Morton Salt girl. My Merry Talc. All right, we've got a proportional issue here. The Scott tissue toilet paper is the same size as the turkey. So maybe these weren't all designed to go together. A Hawaiian pineapple juice can, which is open. Make a neat toothpick holder. A box of Kleenex, bigger than the turkey. This is when the cold season is hit. Okay, somebody was creative and aluminum foiled over what appears to just be a pop bottle. So I guess they're making a serving tray. I don't know. A little serving tray, a little Dutch oven, little plastic Dutch oven. Okay. Arm & Hammer. I was going to give them grief because they were stealing the Arm & Hammer logo. No, Arm & Hammer logo they called it Arm & Hammer, but I've never heard of Sal soda, washing soda. I've never heard of that. Jack Frost cane sugar tablets. So actually, I don't think that was a toy food. I think this was actually like if you carry your own sugar for your coffee or something. Okay, an even smaller turkey. There's just some fun, weird stuff in here. What is this? Okay, again, a loaf of bread that this turkey can fit into. And then there's a little lobster. He's her lobster. She's his lobster. Name the show, although I can't remember which way it was. He's her lobster. She's his lobster. So we got a little lobster. And tiny little sausages. Thought they were carrots, but I think those are sausages. Bananas. Sweetheart old-fashioned sugar cones. And wait a minute, this one's been opened. Oh, tell me some of this stuff has stuff in it. Huh, it does. Wait, come on, open up. Come on, you can do it. All right, well, it's not as cute as I thought it'd be. But there's a little tiny sugar cone in the tiny packet of sugar cones. She's his lobster. So yes, it was Katie got it, and Christy did. Several people. I was obsessed with my sugar cones. So several people got the Friends episode, and I remember Phoebe says it, but I can't remember which order she says it in. So I think Katie's right though. Like she's his lobster. So anyway, I'll actually be doing another another live haul, and I probably won't be live. I'm going to try and record it because I don't want to do all live stuff. I can't quite reach it from here. But I will just say there will be another lobster piece. And if Fatbird Finds is on here, they may want to watch what I come up with because I thought of them when I found it. So Alcoa wrap, I think I showed that. Lipton tea bags, dusting powder, like a little scrub brush. So this is just like weird box oh crap. So this I will probably sell in a live sale or something. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. But that was in the Greyhound model box, not a Greyhound. All right. Now, this one, I have a feeling some of you may know this game. I obviously know like the concept of it. It's not rocket science, but it is the Barbie game, Queen of the Prom. So we already had, what was the other one called? Miss Popularity, the True American Teen. Now we've got the Barbie game by the creators of Barbie, famous teenage fashion doll, Mattel Incorporated toy makers, Queen of the Prom, Roman numerals. 1960. So this is a 1960 copyright board game. So you've got Barbie, shopping, dating, and school activities. She hadn't become an astronaut yet. So then we've got the board game. Yes. So this is the board. So the board game is actually cool because the board game, it actually like has a design to it. I'm not sure if this is supposed to mean anything because that's not the board game. You open it up and there's the actual game board. So Barbie, Queen of the Prom, place surprise cards here. So you've got on a date. Oh, let's see what he talks about, what they do on a date. He talks about cars with dad. Wait here. You agree to go steady. Talk it over at the soda fountain. I'm sorry. I have to. I'm picturing another great movie, Pleasantville. I'm picturing Pleasantville where she goes, a contemporary teenager goes back in time and does all of these things. He asks you to go steady. Celebrate at the beach party. Well, how can you celebrate the beach party if you're already talking it over at the soda fountain? Your date takes you to class party. Go to the football game. Your date has tickets. Caught in the rain. Return home for umbrella. Date time. You may roll again and enter if you have a boyfriend. Surprise. That's all it says. Just says surprise. There's a surprise. Pay dues of $1 if you are a club member. Yike. What kind of club? Football game, admission is $1. Beach party. If you have no boyfriend, go to introductions. Okay, this is just, it seems like a cruel joke. So this is Barbie game, Queen of the Prom. So we've got, so Pleasantville was Reese Witherspoon and Tobey Maguire? I want to say Tobey Maguire, but I could be wrong on that. I can't remember the guy. But the concept is, I mean, the movie's probably like 20 years old by now, but the concept is, it was when Reese Witherspoon was an actual teenager. Like 1990s, 2000 age era kids. One of them is in love with an old fashioned television show, kind of like the Donna Reed show is kind of the way I looked at it. He was just obsessed with this show, and Don Knotts shows up. And basically the two teenage kids get sucked into the television set and become characters in that show called Pleasantville. And as the story progresses, basically it's the kid who thinks it's super awesome to be in a town where, you know, the parents have separate beds and, you know, you don't know what sex is. There's no toilets in the bathrooms. But then there's the teenage girl that's like, no, they just don't know any better, and basically starts introducing the concept of sex and other things. And suddenly, as the show develops, they go from black and white to Technicolor. So I don't know if that would have been a spoiler. Sorry if it is. It's an excellent movie. I absolutely. No, it wasn't Brandon Fraser. No, I know it wasn't Brendan Fraser. It was like it's kind of a scrawny little kid. And I want to say it's the guy that went on to do Spider-Man, which isn't that Tobey Maguire? I actually don't remember. So I'm sure somebody can Google this one, but it's called Pleasantville. One word, called Pleasantville. Reese Witherspoon's the girl. It's a really good movie. And there's actually a story to it. Like it really does make it interesting. And I'm trying to remember the hot guy, the jock is somebody famous too. He was the guy that went on to do the race car movies that then died in a car accident. Fast and Furious, I think. Anyway, so we got the Barbie game. There don't appear any instructions, so I'm going to have to go through this. I'm running out of time, so I'm going to have to go through this and figure out if I have all the pieces to it. Another game that I did not know, and that is so totally going to tip over. Another game I didn't know, which I thought was super cool, though. is called Win, Place, or Show. Win, Place, and Show. Win, Place, and Show. That's cheating. A 3M sports game. I don't know if you can tell it. You can kind of see there's a reflection going on. It's like a plastic coating. Skid Martin. Oh, see, I don't remember now. It's been a while since I watched it. I'm going to look it up. I do own it on Amazon Prime. Anyway, it's a horse racing game, but it's got this like heavy plastic covering the box, and it has a snap on it. Then when you open it up, it becomes a ginormous racetrack. So it folds into thirds, so it completely encloses the box. So you've got this massive race course. Okay, thank you, Annette. It is Tobey Maguire. And I don't remember who the jock guy is. He wasn't a major character. It's just I remember at one point looking up to see what else he had done. It turned out he died. So this is the racetrack for the horse races. And then I'm assuming that this has the horses in it. So this one has how to play, win, place, and show. So it's got the instructions. That's good. There's the official program, 20 cents. There's, okay. So this is your racing form. So you've kind of got all those. First race, second race. I'm sure that has something to do with it. You've got money. That everyone needs a $10,000 bill from the 3M bookshelf games. Foul claim. You could disqualify other horses. Tiny, tiny little dice. Little plastic horses that have the numbers on them. So you've got the different colors. Here are the tiny, tiny dice. They're two different colors. I'm assuming maybe there's a purpose behind that. This is another one of those cases that just based on, there's a fairly elaborate tray here that I'm going to dump. But just based on this, it seems pretty full. So I'm guessing this is actually complete. But let's see. There's a setup, duties, play. This one doesn't really give a summary of what is in the game. Copyrighted 1966. I don't know if I'd found the copyright on this one. So this was 1966 from the 3M Corporation. When was 3M making? When was 3M making cards or making games? Yes, in the second race, Gritty Gret, Corn Plaster, odds 5-1. And he'll be competing against Spelling Bee, Samurai, Nothing Special, Peace Corps, and Indian Giver. So, we haven't quite reached political correctness yet because it's only 1966. Adam's Apple, Born Loser, French Twist, Dunce Cap, Egg Yolk, Bone Bruise, Stampede, Gunsmoke, Swami, no comment. Lobster Tail, we could just have a whole theme of lobsters. Cockroach, Slow Molasses. And this appears to be part of the game because they're all the same. And there's 6 of these. So this must have something to do with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It looks like there's 6. Looks like there's 6 horses. So it looks like it's a game for 6 or up to 6 people. So this actually looks pretty complete. It's in really good condition. I mean, the box is you can kind of tell it's a matte black. It's not scratched up or anything. I mean, it's a little dusty, but for the most part, this thing survived. This thing looks really, really good. And then, like I said, it kind of gets wrapped up into this. This is pretty dirty. Like you can tell that obviously this is kind of became the dust jacket. But usually for those of us of a certain age that grew up with games and things that had this, usually this, like, I'm sorry, this is Trapper Keeper. Like if you ever had a Trapper Keeper, that's what this is. So usually they split up the plastic in the middle. There's no splits in this. So this is actually really good condition. I have a feeling it just never got played. It seems fairly mature, considering this is the same copyright date as Miss Popularity and the Barbie prom game. So I don't know. So that is Win, Place, and Show. Looks like that is complete. They've got a picture of it on the back. Again, kind of matches what I've got. So it looks like we should be okay. Oh, no, it doesn't. It lists the contents. Awesome. So I will be able to check the contents against the interior and verify that that is actually a complete. The rest are really small and really fast. Found a couple puzzles. This is one of those, is it Play School? Yeah, Play School puzzles with the really big pieces. It's kind of like got the border to it. So I picked this up. Basically, I'll probably just hold on to this until the fundraiser for the dog fundraiser next year. Yeah, Trapper Keeper, that blasted into my head. I'm like, what is this plastic reminding me of? And that literally popped into my head as I started to say it. So we got the puzzle. That'll just hold on to, probably be part of the fundraiser next year. I'm saving up the dog stuff. This is a wooden cribbage board, probably 80s, based on the images and the quality of the box. Maybe 70s, but I don't think it's any older than that. I grew up with this board. I used to play cribbage, and I honestly couldn't even tell you how to play now at all. I know that there's this is actually still sealed. I mean, well, it's not sealed. It just still is the original bag, but it looks really good. But if you've never seen a cribbage board like this, there's this little slot in the back that opens up. That's where the pegs get hidden. So you get all the pegs in there. You do have the instructions. Actually, this one looks nicer because this one, the pegs are metal. My pegs, I don't think were metal. So I found a cribbage board. I had on my Instagram, I found this is where the puzzle came from. So this is a circular puzzle. So I had that. I actually had a big puzzle as well. I put that on my Instagram. Basically, I put them together to make sure they were complete, because then I can sell them as complete. Bye, Diana. This one I wasn't familiar with. Grapple. There's only a handful. We're almost done. Grapple, the scrambled word game. This one looked like it was an 80s, 90s thing. Kind of like Boggle, maybe. But I don't know if it's like Scrabble. Oh, it says 1973. It's actually older than I thought. Flip the box over to see what we're playing. So I guess it's kind of like Scrabble. You get the letters, but then I guess there's just no board. Players compete to outguess each other in this crazy mixed up word game. Everyone chooses his own secret word, assembles the letters, and scrambles them before showing the other players. Oh, okay. Can you find a word in the mixed up letters? You have to be quick. Your opponents are looking for it too. If you like Grapple, you'll like Fluster and Boggle too. I've never heard of Fluster. So, okay. So you make your own word and then figure out what that word will be. And I'm obsessed with what would that word be on the top? YKCQUIL. Liquid? Quickly. Haha. Okay, quickly. So I guess I'd suck at this game. Yeah, Boggle I used to play all the time in the horrible memories going camping. The only good thing I remember about it was Boggle and s'mores. But so yeah, Boggle I definitely played. Grapple is a new one. Grapple I've not heard. So that's Grapple. Password. This I remember. I remember the TV game of it. But so there's a little board game version of it. Oh God, I hadn't opened this one yet. So this one, everyone of a certain age is going to have flashbacks. So you've got the clues are covered up, and then you've got the plastic with the red foil or the little red window, so that when you're looking at the answer, you can see number 2. How do I hold it? Female. Well, you couldn't see the word female before that. So it's magic. All right. Hey, when I was like 5 years old, it was magic. So anyway, so it looks like this probably is complete because it has the 2 versions of the holder. It has a spinner. I don't know what the spinner would be for. Oh, that must be, the words had numbers. So I guess that's so you could, I guess it's so you could use the cards over and over again. So it's got the spinner, it's got the note card, or the score cards. There's 2 of them for each team, an extra insert, and there's actually 4. So I guess each team member would get, because you have 2 people to a team. So I think this is just for a 4-person game because that's the way the television show was. So pretty cool, all complete with the little spinner thing. That's pretty awesome. I actually had one of these in my booth, and it had been shrink wrapped, not by me, by where I got it. It wasn't like original. It was like, but somebody had kind of sealed it up. So I did sell it, but I never opened it. I just assumed it was complete. So now I actually got to open it and I see what it was. All right, what Christy's getting out. I had a game called Pass Out drinking game. Excellent. All right, next one. This I remember growing up. Actually, the last 2 are basically like remnants of my childhood, and this should give you a pretty good idea of what my childhood was like. Pokino and Tripoley. So we had not a lot of Christmas traditions. That was one of them. So for those of you who do not know Tripoley is kind of like an introduction to a type of poker. It's a game of kings and queens. A Caduco adult classic combines hearts, poker, and rummy all into an all-year favorite. So this one, I'm a little unclear because I remember it, but I don't really remember it. So the box is dated 1960. Got a copyright of 1960 there at the bottom. All the instructions are right there. This has been shrink wrapped. Like it's got the seal and everything like from a shrink wrap, but only at the bottom. So I don't know if this would have been sold. Like I have no idea why just the bottom is shrink wrapped and the top is loose. So I don't remember that, but it doesn't matter because it's been opened. And so you can get this is one of those where you needed the card table. So the card table would come out and then you would have this mat that would go onto the table. So you've got ace, king, queen, jack, 10, kitty, king, a pair of king, queen, all in one suit. Okay, so it's like a combination of, like I said, hearts and poker. And I should remember how to play, and I truly, truly don't. But this is something that would come out a lot. It was basically my parents' concept was, well, since it's not real poker, it's okay to introduce to the kids. So, I used to go to the dog races all the time. I used to go to the horse races all the time. Used to play this version of poker. And ironically enough, I never actually got to play poker. But, we all live and learn. So I had to pick that up because I just thought that was hilarious. Because it's in pristine condition. I mean, I'm not going to pull it out again. It's in pristine condition. So I don't know. What I need to remember is if there's anything else that was supposed to be in there. Like, I don't know if it used to come with cards, because obviously it is a card game, or if what you get in this is just the mat, in which case I have a complete game. So the box is copyrighted in 1965. The directions were 1960. Tripoley Deluxe Edition, Caduco. Yeah, it says 1965 on the side too. But it's got all the directions right here. And I just have to figure out if the cards were included or if you're just provided your own cards. Because really, there wouldn't be that much more that could fit in that. It's a fairly shallow box. And I do remember liking it a lot. I don't remember. I truly, truly could not tell you how to play it with my life depended on it, but I'm sure I could pick it up, kind of like cribbage. Like once somebody would just show me again, I'd remember. I do remember liking it a lot because it was kind of like you were kind of gambling, because I think you're supposed to have poker chips. So there was a type of gambling involved. So it's kind of, adult, but I was a kid. So, again, then we go to the dog races, and I wouldn't understand why we were watching dogs being treated poorly. But anyway, so the other thing that also reminded me of my childhood, we used to play Pokino all the time. So this is a combination of poker and Keno. And this was one that the minute I saw the box, I'm like, oh, yeah, I love Pokino. Then I opened the box. I'm like, what the hell is that? So it took me a while to remember this. So it literally is a stack of a lot of them. So, I don't know how many people could play this. But, there's all of these cards. They're basically like bingo cards, Keno cards with the individual cards on there. And so the way to do it, it's a combination of two games known as poker and Keno, or Lotto, which features that is much more interesting and exciting than either. Each player except the dealer is given a board. The dealer is furnished with an ordinary deck of cards and shuffles them and turns one over the top one, calling it out. For example, Queen of Spades. Each player who has the Queen of Spades on his board covers it with a counter. The dealer continues turning over the cards in succession, and the players continue covering on their boards until someone wins by having a complete row of 5. So you don't get a free space. You always have something in the middle that you need to do. And so either horizontally or vertically, doesn't say diagonally, but I think diagonally too. Player who wins then becomes the next dealer. One way of playing Pokino is for the winner to receive all counters laying on the other boards. Other methods are given below, and the winner receives based on the value of your hand. So once you get the Keno, if you happen to have had a straight flush, you get more. So I don't remember playing it. Like, I truly remember Pokino. I don't remember playing it. I don't remember who I played with. I only had one brother. So if one's a dealer, I win. So I really don't know when this came out, like how often. But unfortunately, the box is in a little bit of poor condition. But the cards themselves are actually in great condition. So I don't think this was played very often. So anyway, so that's that was Pokino. Yes, Sorry is a definite favorite. Trouble, definitely like that. I don't know if I know Sweet Sequence. I recognize the name, but I don't know if I've ever played it. Bingo is obviously always a big thing. So I got involved in like opening up the games. I started missing out some of the concepts. So, also mid-century, you've never played Tripoley. Maybe Tripoley. Okay, so Katie played Tripoley. I'm curious how many. Looks like Melody hadn't played it. I wonder sometimes if some things are regional, because I grew up in the Midwest. It's like, did we do things in the Midwest that Californians were too cool to do? So I don't know. So anyway, so those were all of the games that I got from the same estate sale. So basically the way that played itself out, I know the woman who ran the estate sale, and I've gone to other sales for hers. And she contacted me and she's like, okay, here's the deal. They told me that they wanted me to sell all the stuff. It was like the adult kids, the parents or the parents had passed away or nursing home, whatever. They were away, so the adult kids were not in the picture. So they were like, we just need you to sell all the stuff. So she was like, okay, she was going to have 3 months to sell everything. The kids sold the house, and she suddenly had like literally 2 or 3 weeks to sell an entire 4-bedroom house of furniture and all belongings. This family did not keep hardly anything. Like, I actually picked up, I can't reach it from here, but I actually picked up one of the things. I'm sending it to somebody else. I've done some genealogy research. It's one of those big framed calligraphy pieces, all in German, from 1897. It's one of their family members, baptismal certificates. They were just, I got it for free, because nobody else wanted it. So I looked it up on Ancestry.com, found somebody that has that person in their family tree. So I'm sending it to them. for free. Like, I'm just like, here, I want somebody to have this. I don't want it. And I don't want to just try and sell it because it's like, that's personal. And so anyway, like this family had all of this stuff to get rid of in no time. So I'm literally walking out the door and she's putting stuff in my box. She's like, oh, take this. No, this will sell. You'll make money with this. I'm like, I don't need a ricer. I don't even, that's actually within reach, I think. I'm not even sure that's what that is. She literally just shoved it in my box. It's like, look, take it. And I'm like, okay, it's like a potato something, rice. I don't even know. It seems like a good one. But they literally, they were going to be throwing everything away. And so I got so much stuff that I did not need. And all of these games were part of it. Literally all of these games are going to go into a dumpster, and I couldn't have that. So I paid nothing for these games. So I am not looking to make a lot of money on them. You know, I want to look to see if there's anything particularly special or whatever. And then maybe long story, but I would give more money back to that family if it turns out I have something really rare. I don't think there is, but a food mill. Never even heard of a food mill. Tomato strainer. Okay. So anyway, so this will actually be, and I'm going to be doing another haul video of the stuff that I wanted. This just happened. Literally, it was in the box because she shoved it in the box as I walked out the door. So I actually do have a box of cool stuff. I'll give you a little sneak peek because it happens to be right here. I might be filming it tonight. So I set everything aside. It's a big fish. It is a blue mountain pottery fish. It's Canadian. I don't carry Blue Mountain very often, but isn't this freaking awesome? He's huge. He's a planter. He's in perfect condition. I had to have him. I'm selling him, but I had to have him because I actually found out some of the stuff from photographs that I found out what did get thrown away, and I was devastated. So I was glad that I grabbed the stuff that I grabbed, but oh my God, I had no room. I literally have no room. Huckster Helper is coming next week. She can't park in the garage right now. So that's my goal, is trying to get through some of this stuff, get it tagged to go to the booth, get it listed to go on eBay so I can put it in the storage or whatever I'm going to do with it. So this, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it. Probably going to go to the booth because you can tell he's pretty big, and I think he'd be a little bit of a pain to ship. So probably going to be putting him into my booth, but I'm going to be doing a video, hopefully filming it this week with the goal of posting it at this time next Sunday. Maybe I'll push it back an hour. I've got to decide, cause I feel bad that I was conflicting with Thrift U. But I might do it instead of a live video next week. I might do it as a premiere so we can still have the live chat and I can pay more attention to that, but then I could also be a little bit more focused because of course I've been rambling. Yeah, I don't want him in my bathtub. That might freak me out. So anyway, I will have more stuff. It was a great estate sale. So for resellers, a lot of people are really iffy about estate sales in general because of COVID. I will just say this one was organized very nicely. Everything was by appointment. And when I was there, I was the only person in the house. So there are ways to do it. Without, and still maintaining safety. So, don't discount going to things like that. Just ask what their policies are. And if they like, what policies, maybe stay away. But if they have policies, there is a way to do these that are safe. So anyway, so you got a little sneak peek. He will be in the next video that I make, but I hope you like the games. As I mentioned, it's scrolling across the bottom. I try not to be mercenary because like I said, I didn't pay for any of these things. I won't be putting probably any of these in my booth. So at this point, I might list some on eBay. If you want anything, send me an email, make me an offer. Unless it's like ludicrous, I'll probably be fine. Like I'll take it. I want you to, if you're going to enjoy it, if you're going to buy it to resell it from me, don't really want to do that. But if this is something you want for your own collection, a couple of you said you collect games. If there's something you need for your collection, just be aware it may cost a little bit to ship because some of these boxes are pretty big and some of them are pretty heavy. So, but I'm not going to be putting a lot of like time and effort into listing them, but I do need to get them out of my house. So if you're interested in anything, drop me an email, let me know what you're interested in. I'm sure we can work something out. If more than one person is interested, the first person that emails me is the one I will start with, and then, you know, move on if that person doesn't want anything. So hope you had fun. Like, this is something different. Don't really do live sale, like live chats like this. I tried to do better with the chat, but I still felt like I got distracted. So maybe I'll do better with the premiere. I've never really done a premiere before. So that's my goal. Make a video, post it to premiere for next Sunday. And then that way, I don't think she ever joined us, but in case Kat ever joins us from, oh, hi, Lois, a new name. In case Kat from the Nurse Flipper joined in, this was all her fault that I'm doing this. So I'm still going to have a goal of doing 2 videos a week. And I don't want them to all be live, but this week, because of the first time of the challenge, I cheated. So I also will have my live sale this Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. That's my normal time. This one was a little hour later. I will be doing that at 8 p.m. Eastern on Thursdays. The theme for this first one, for those of you who are still here, the theme for this first one, the sale will be on Thursday the 6th. Everything will be $6 and under. So this is going to be a New Year closeout clearance, make room in the garage for the Huckster Helper. We are just going to crank through a lot of stuff, and it's all going to be $6 and under. So I'll probably still talk about it too much, but hey, that's what I do. So anyway, so there won't be like a technical bargain bin, because I'll just have stuff that's $2 just throughout the sale. I've already got 2 milk crates filled with stuff that are going to be part of it. And the Huckster Helper will be here to help me with the sale, so I can do a bigger sale because I'll have help. So join me on Thursday, and also join me next Sunday. Make sure if you don't follow the Nurse Flipper, she's again the reason I'm doing this tonight. Definitely support her channels, YouTube, support her on Instagram, and support each other. So hope you guys enjoyed yourself. Thank you so much for spending time with me. Thanks for putting your trust in Trusty Huckster. Everybody have a great night. Bye-bye.